expressing disappointment in Remy for allegedly betraying a man who stood by her through everything. Others believe there's more to the story and that people shouldn't jump to conclusions without solid proof. Many are also questioning the credibility of the so-called receipts. Are they real, or is this just another case of exaggerated rumors, with Papoose remaining silent and Remy avoiding the topic? Fans are left to speculate. Meanwhile, memes, tweets, and reaction videos are taking over social media, turning this situation into one of the biggest celebrity dramas of the year. So what happens now? Will Papoose officially address the allegations? Will Remy Ma defend herself and clear her name? Or will they keep things private and try to work through this behind closed doors? One thing is for sure, this situation is far from over. Whether it's true or not, the drama surrounding Remy Ma's alleged infidelity has already left a stain on their relationship in the public eye. If Papoose truly has evidence, the fallout could be career-changing for both of them. But if the allegations turn out to be false, it could be a major lesson in how quickly social media can destroy reputations. Regardless of where you stand on this situation, there's no denying that Remy Ma and Papo's love story has been one for the ages. If these allegations are true, it's a heartbreaking to what was once considered hip-hop's most solid couple. But if they manage to overcome this scandal, it could be one of the biggest comeback stories in celebrity relationship history. What do you think? Is there truth to these rumors, or is this just another social media exaggeration? Let us know in the comments. Lavish present. Was it really a reward for Justin's talent? Oregon. Was there something more transactional at play? Wright suggests the latter, and her claims have reignited debates about the power dynamics between young stars and the industry heavyweights who claim to support them. Jaguar Wright didn't stop there. She went on to describe a particularly disturbing video involving Justin Odell Beckham Jr. and Trey Songz. In the footage, Bieber appears visibly intoxicated, and Wright alleges he's engaged in behavior that is far from innocent. Trey Songz, she claims, is seen acting as a lookout, ensuring that no one captured the moment on camera, though clearly someone did. WR's description of the video has left fans horrified, as it paints a picture of a young artist being led astray by older, more experienced men who should have been looking out for him, not preying on his vulnerability. Yeah, first time I smoke. I don't suggest this, but I was 13. Yeah, 13, 12, or 13. And let's not forget the context here. This isn't the first time Diddy has faced accusations of crossing the line with young male artists. Wright has been vocal about other instances implicating not just Diddy, but a broader culture of exploitation within the music industry. She's previously called out names like Meek Mill, suggesting that he too fell victim to similar dynamics during his rise to fame. Meek, for his part, has vehemently denied any such rumors, even taking to social media to assert his masculinity in a way that some found defensive. But Wright remains steadfast in her claims, arguing that the industry's dark underbelly is riddled with stories like these, stories that rarely see the light of day. One of the allegations was that Diddy had the Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Immediately, people identified the rapper as Meek Mill. What makes Justin's story particularly heartbreaking is the contrast between his early image and the person he became in the years following his association with Diddy. In those early days, Justin was the epitome of youthful innocence. His songs were catchy, his smile was infectious, and he seemed genuinely happy. But as time went on, that sparkle began to fade. By his late teens, Justin was making headlines for all the wrong reasons: erratic behavior, legal troubles, and a visible struggle with his mental health. Fans couldn't help but notice the drastic shift in his demeanor, and many began to wonder what happened to the sweet kid they had fallen in love with. It was just an escape for me. I was just young, you know, like everybody in the industry and people in the world who experiment and do. Jaguar Wright argues that the answer lies in those formative years, specifically in Justin's interactions with figures like Diddy. She points to footage where Justin is visibly uncomfortable while talking to Diddy. In one clip, Diddy appears to pat Justin down, almost as if checking for a hidden microphone. Whatever was whispered between them during that moment, Justin ends the encounter with a hesitant "love you," a phrase that now feels loaded with unspoken tension. Wright suggests that Justin's team may have tried to intervene, attempting to shield him from Diddy's influence, but ultimately they couldn't protect him from the harsh realities of the industry. The fallout from all of this has been fans who once brushed off Justin's troubled past as the antics of a rebellious teen are now reevaluating everything. In light of Wright's allegations, could Justin's struggles with substance use and erratic behavior be symptoms of something far more insidious? Wright certainly thinks so. She points to Diddy's notorious parties, events that have long been the subject of rumors and speculation. These gatherings, often described as wild and unregulated, were allegedly the backdrop for some of the most unsettling moments in Justin's early career did in fact occur. Their argument is more than likely going to be that this activity was consensual, that this person was a willing participant, and not only that, but that these individuals assumed the risk of being present at those parties, of engaging and voluntarily engaging in the conduct and being in those spaces, consuming alcohol and things of that nature. Wright also draws parallels between Justin's experiences and those of other male artists who have come into contact with Diddy. Usher, for example, has spoken in cryptic terms about his time living with Diddy as a teenager. In one interview, Diddy himself made a flippant remark about sharing a bed with Usher, a comment that raised eyebrows but was largely dismissed at the time. Now, in light of Rise claims these anecdotes take on a much darker significance. Was Usher, like Justin, a victim of the same predatory dynamics, and if so, why hasn't he spoken out? Wright suggests that fear and trauma may play a role, creating a bond of silence that keeps many victims from coming forward so pretty early in the proceedings. I think it's only been about a month and a half since he's been arraigned and held in detention, and so the investigations are always going to be a continuous and ongoing process. I'm sure at this point there's been an exchange of discovery, and not only that, but I think there's been a gag order placed on the attorneys with information that they can and cannot share. But more importantly, as the conversation around these allegations grows louder, so does the public's demand for accountability. Fans are calling for an investigation, not just into Diddy's behavior, but into the broader culture of exploitation that seems to permeate the entertainment industry. And while Justin himself has remained largely silent on these issues, his actions speak volumes. In recent months, he has distanced himself from Diddy, unfollowing him on social media and cutting ties publicly. But is that enough? Some argue that Justin has a responsibility to speak out, not just for himself, but for the countless others who may have suffered in silence. Man, you doing it, man, you deserve it. Daddy, putting in that work, proud of you, I love you. The story doesn't end here, of course. This is just the beginning of a much larger unraveling, one that could expose the entertainment industry's darkest secrets as Jaguar Wright continues to speak out. More and more people are paying attention, and while some dismiss her claims as sensationalism, others see them as the tip of the iceberg, a glimpse into a world that thrives on power, manipulation, and silence. Now let's get into the messier side of this tangled web. If you thought the allegations about Justin Bieber and Diddy were shocking, hold on tight, because the deeper you dig, the more unsettling this story becomes. The entertainment industry, as glamorous as it seems on the surface, has long been accused of harboring secrets that are darker than most people can imagine. And when you start connecting the dots between Justin's story, Usher's experiences, and the allegations surrounding other artists like Meek Mill, it becomes clear that these aren't isolated incidents. Instead, they paint a much broader picture of an industry that thrives on power imbalances, where mentorship often comes with a price. When you start all that daddy this and daddy that, and then I heard some hauling and struggling, like, yeah, I kept the phone now and I recorded all that cause I was like, let's talk about Usher. For a minute, long before Justin Bieber entered the scene, Usher was Diddy's golden boy, another young artist with undeniable talent who found himself under the wing of the bad boy mogul. Usher has never fully opened up about his time living with Diddy as a teenager, but the few details he has shared are enough to raise eyebrows. In one infamous interview, Diddy casually mentioned that he and Usher used to share a bed, while he tried to play it off as a joke, saying they were fighting over cereal or something equally ridiculous. The comment sent shockwaves through the industry. Why? Because it suggested a level of closeness that didn't quite sit right with fans and insiders alike. A dope rapper, but I think sometimes Meek falls victim to I have to explain myself cause they playing with my name, and the more he responds, the more they. Jaguar Wright has been one of the loudest voices calling attention to this dynamic. She claims that Usher's time with Diddy wasn't just about learning the ropes of the music business, it was about being exposed to a lifestyle that no young person should ever have to navigate. According to Wright, Diddy's so-called mentorship often blurred the lines between professional guidance and personal exploitation, and the implications of that are deeply troubling, especially when you consider how Usher has spoken about those years in vague, almost cryptic terms. He's hinted at lessons learned the hard way, but he's never gone into specifics. Could it be that he's still processing the trauma of those experiences? Or is he protecting himself and possibly others by staying silent, coming out. It's so funny what's happening with Diddy, because this was inevitable. What's even more telling is how Usher has distanced himself from Diddy in recent years while they still share polite interactions in public. The warmth that once defined their relationship seems to have faded. Some speculate that this is because Usher knows too much about Diddy's private life, too much about the things that happened behind closed doors, and if Jaguar Wright's allegations are to be believed, Usher might be carrying the weight of secrets that could shake the industry to its core. Wright has even suggested that Usher's reluctance to speak out stems from a trauma bond with Diddy, a psychological connection forged through shared experiences of manipulation and control. But Usher's story isn't the only one that raises red flags. Meek Mill, another artist who rose to fame under Diddy's watchful eye, has also found himself at the center of swirling rumors. According to Wright, Meek was allegedly involved in situations that mirrored what we've heard about Justin Bieber and Usher. She claims that Diddy's influence extended far beyond professional mentorship, involving personal dynamics that were anything but appropriate. Meek has denied these allegations, of course, but his public reactions have only added fuel to the fire. His outbursts on social media, where he's lashed out at critics and defended his masculinity, suggest a man who feels cornered either by the rumors themselves or by the truth they might contain. Saw in that video totally eviscerated his credibility. There's one particularly infamous photo that fans love to point to when discussing Meek's relationship with Diddy. It shows the two of them wearing matching pajamas at what appears to be a private gathering. On the surface, it might seem harmless, a quirky fashion choice, nothing more. But when you consider the context of the allegations, the image takes on a whole new meaning. Was this just a playful moment between two friends, or was it indicative of a deeper, more complicated dynamic? And then there's the viral video of Diddy calling Meek daddy during a poolside hangout. Again, it could be nothing, but in light of everything we've heard, it's hard not to read between the lines. Jaguar Wright has gone so far as to accuse Meek of being one of Diddy's favorites, a term that carries heavy implications in this context. She suggested that Meek's high-profile relationships with women like Nicki Minaj were orchestrated to deflect attention from his behind-the-scenes interactions with Diddy. Whether or not there's any truth to these claims, the speculation has clearly affected Meek. He spent years trying to shake off the rumors, but they continue to follow him, casting a shadow over his career and personal life. And let's not forget the broader implications of these allegations. If Diddy's influence over artists like Justin, Usher, and Meek was as predatory as Wright suggests, what does that say about the industry as a whole? How many other young stars have found themselves in similar situations, unable to speak out for fear of retaliation? The entertainment world has long been criticized for its exploitative practices, but these stories add a new layer of complexity to the conversation. They reveal an environment where power dynamics are weaponized, where mentorship can quickly turn into manipulation. Now to the latest on the arrest of Diddy Combs. This one has so many people talking. The disgraced music mogul facing federal racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking charges. Both the prosecution and defense teams are set to discuss the next phase of action following the indictment as investigators work to determine potential co-conspirators. But how exactly did we get here? The most chilling part of this narrative is how easily these dynamics can be hidden in plain sight. Diddy's larger-than-life persona has always been a double-edged sword. On one hand, it's made him one of the most successful and influential figures in music. On the other hand, it's allowed him to deflect scrutiny, using his charm and charisma to obscure the darker aspects of his reputation, and for years it worked. Fans and industry insiders alike were quick to dismiss rumors about Diddy's behavior, chalking them up to jealousy or exaggeration. But now, with voices like Jaguar Wright bringing these stories into the light, it's becoming harder to ignore the S in his carefully crafted image. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. One of the most shocking claims Wright has made involves a so-called freak-off party video that she alleges Diddy sold on the dark web for an astronomical sum of money. According to Wright, this video contains footage that could incriminate not just Diddy, but several other high-profile figures in the industry. While these claims remain unverified, the very idea of such a video existing is enough to send shivers down your spine. If true, it would represent a level of corruption and exploitation that goes far beyond what most people are willing to imagine real. This is very significant just from who We associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds, so to go from living in those mansions to being in the jail cell. Right now, I think it really underscores the magnitude of what he's facing, and the weight of the federal government. And then there's Justin Bieber, who despite distancing himself from Diddy in recent years, still seems to carry the weight of those early experiences. His 2020 interview with Zon Lo, where he broke down while talking about Billie Eilish, offers a glimpse into the emotional toll his career has taken on him. "I just want to protect her," Justin said, his voice trembling. "I don't want her to go through anything I went through." It was a rare moment of vulnerability, one that hinted at the pain he's endured behind the scenes. In the wake of Diddy's mounting legal troubles, fans have been revisiting Justin's journey with fresh eyes there, piecing together the puzzle, connecting the dots between his troubled past and the allegations that have come to light. And while Justin has remained tight-lipped about his relationship with Diddy, his actions speak volumes. The fact that he's unfollowed Diddy on social media and cut ties publicly suggests that he wants to put that chapter of his life behind him. But the scars remain, both for Justin and for the countless others who have found themselves caught in the orbit of powerful men like Diddy. It's a question of that, but when you read through the IND, it's pretty clear who could be indicted as a co-conspirator. Right now, there are people in the indictment who would be considered unnamed co-conspirators, but clearly have played a role in this conspiracy, and I think prosecutors have some big leverage on them because they're hoping that they testify against a Diddy as prosecution witnesses. What's clear is that this story is far from over. As more details emerge, the public's demand for answers will only grow louder, and while figures like Jaguar Wright can continue to shine a light on the industry's darkest corners, it's up to the rest of us to listen, to question, to demand accountability, and to support those who have been brave enough to speak out. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just about Diddy or Justin or Usher. It's about creating a world where young artists can pursue their dreams without fear, without manipulation, and without being forced to pay a price that no one should ever have to pay. As the curtain falls on the shocking expose, viewers are left with more questions than answers. Could Justin Bieber's struggles be a direct result of the alleged exploitation by Diddy and his inner circle? And if so, how many other young stars have suffered in silence? The entertainment industry's dark underbelly is slowly being revealed, and it's up to us to demand accountability and justice. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe Jaguar Wright's allegations hold merit? And what steps can be taken to protect young artists from such predatory behavior? Let's keep the conversation going and shed light on these pressing issues. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening content. Until next time, stay informed and stay vigilant.